And let's go.
And now it's time for Bikes, Mics, and Idiots with your hosts, Ubi and Eric.
Alrighty, guys, here we go. Another episode for you guys. Hey, we just came back from a good lunch today.
As always.
Always have a good time. And today, we're going to be going over some random topics. And hopefully, you guys are going to see soon. We might have us a good episode coming up. We kind of planned some cool things out, some funny things.
Yep.
Although we can't really talk about it. We don't want to give away too much information.
No, we can't. We can't do that. We got to let them. We got to let have a little suspense on what's going on.
I mean, we've given a lot of suspense that we haven't delivered.
Well, that's true. Eventually, we'll get to it.
Eventually, we'll get to them. Also, we can end up having people call in because now we kind of figured a few things out. We might be able to have someone call in and do maybe not an interview, but be able to do a podcast with us from a different location. So that'll be fun once we start figuring things out.
We got dogs everywhere.
Yeah. It's the dog show today.
Who let the dogs out?
I wish I had that queued up. If I had that queued up, it'd be funny.
Yeah. So now it's not funny. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh. Who let the dogs out?
Oh, okay, Elvis.
Okay, that was dumb.
No, but so how's your week been, dude?
Well, as you can see, I no longer have a beard. So
I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, luckily it was for an interview. So I had an interview at work.
At least it wasn't a bad thing this time.
It wasn't a bad thing this time. Normally it's a bad thing, but normally it's I did a bad thing. So no, it was I had an interview, so I shaved myself up to make sure I looked presentable, which really doesn't even matter anymore, honestly, at this point.
I mean, come on. You don't look presentable regardless.
Very true. Very true.
Although, if you have to wear a dress uniform, thinking of, actually, this is the funny thing. So I saw a clip the other day, and it was some guy going off on dating in your like late 30s, and he's like, "There's 3 types of girls," and one of them, he's saying they're career oriented.
Yes,
and he's like, "I only have dress slacks, and I don't know where they are." I mean, granted, I have a few suits because had to use them for work.
Well, that bright orange stuff, yeah. It's like Dumb and Dumber. I get to wear the bright blue. You wear the bright orange.
Sorry, just got an idea. Just got an idea.
Oh, upcoming podcast in the Dumb and Dumber suits.
Hilarious.
I don't know. So you guys will have to let us know on this podcast. Send us a freaking message on there and tell us, hey, if you want us to do a Dumb and Dumber, we will find some suits and we'll dress up like Dumb and Dumber.
And we will absolutely do the cane fencing.
Oh, God. Somebody's going to get hurt. It's going to be me. I'm already hurt anyway.
I was about to say, you're already... Yeah. Granted, I got my own payback after I made fun of you for that.
Yep.
After I made fun of him for breaking his back on a pothole, I ended up like popping a rib out of place. So I know his pain.
Well, and you remember, like, it's crazy. I want to say it was the last podcast or it was 2 podcasts or 3 podcasts ago. I was talking about, upgrading the motor, doing suspension. What am I going to do? I don't know yet. The suspension's, a cheaper deal to go, and it might be better, but I don't know. We hit this pothole, and then it bottomed out my bike, and I swear to God, it jammed my spine through the top of my forehead. And the wife was on the back with me, and we got to the place we were heading to. We got off the bike, and she goes, "Buy the damn suspension, please."
Oh, no. Never mind. It didn't actually go like that. You were talking about it. She was off to the side. And then when she heard that, she's like, yes.
Buy the suspension.
Buy the suspension.
So she knew that it's a better situation for us to have to not be launched off the bike at 40 miles an hour. It was rough. That pothole hurt. Like it's one of those bottom outs where you feel it through your tailbone, and oh my gosh. So this whole week I have been Advil, Aleve, aspirin, Tylenol, whatever I can do. I've been jamming it into me to try to
That's what she
to
said.
try to yeah, exactly. To try to keep myself from having to go, take off from work because we've been really short this week at work. So
Yeah.
I'll make the sacrifice now, and then it'll pay dividends in the end.
I mean, work's been crazy, but I mean,
It's just work.
Not as crazy as that one pothole. That's for later.
That was actually pretty cool.
That is actually a good
That's
one.
a good one.
I still think it may have been a mistake that we gave him a soundboard.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. It's a mistake. But
It's
no,
gonna be good,
things have been good. It's been a good week. We've had a bunch of stuff going on. Been busy. Did a couple rides with our buddies.
Yeah.
So we've had some good times, and as always,
But-
a good lunch.
I was going to bring up, do you remember that one pothole both of us hit
Oh yeah,
in town? We were in town and we talked about it after we got to the spot we were going to. Holy crap. Both of us bottomed out in that one.
yeah. And I was solo on that one.
So was I.
Yeah.
And, oh, man.
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised I bottom out. I'm not a small dude anyway. So I actually called a company.
You're not a small guy?
No, not at all. So
I
I,
don't
could
know.
actually
Cameras make people look
may-
bigger, right?
Yeah, Pumpkin Patrol. I may actually shout these guys out because I ordered the suspension on Monday.
Yeah.
And it should be arriving in about the next hour or so.
Ooh.
So
That's actually
we
pretty
may do a
impressive.
little bit of an unboxing. But
Because he's going to get
But they're,
excited.
you know,
Because
they're
he's
not-
going to be like a kid on Christmas. He's
Yes.
going to get his new stuff, and then he's going to be like, ooh.
it
I need
rides
to
so
open
good.
this.
It's amazing. I need to open it. But I'm not going to be able to touch it for at least a week. I got too much stuff going on this weekend to actually unbox it, box it, and put it on the bike this
That's a
week. So
full day's worth of work.
the rear suspension's fast. I could do that here in the house in an hour. The front suspension, because you're pulling the forks off, we're changing the seals, we're draining the oil,
But having a full
putting in new
fixed
fork
fairing,
oil,
doing all that
and-
stuff, it's a day's
Oh,
worth
it's
of work
not
because it's
bad.
just getting in there. Really?
No, on the Road Glide, there's 4 bolts to take off, and you slide the forks right out.
Oh, well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, because it's fixed fairing, you can have access to everything.
See, like on mine, there's certain spots
'cause you got an
like, it's
upside down
hard to
fork.
get- It's I do have the
But the
inverted
forks are inverted, not upside down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, inverted suspension. But even then, it's
Yeah.
just about getting into certain spots with a fixed fairing bike. It's like getting
Well,
into
it's
certain
the
spots
guy
hard.
who's going to help me with it. He and I have actually changed. We changed Angry Jim's suspension. We've changed his 2 or 3 times. We changed my old bike
Angry Jim.
suspension. So we've done multiple suspension changes, and he knows what he's doing. So we're ultimately going to get this done. I'm going to give it a 4 hour, so which means it's probably 6 by the time we're really done with it, because we'll have beers in there and all that. But it'll be good. It won't be too bad.
Is it upgrading or fixing anything if you don't have beers?
Oh no, absolutely not. It's just tinkering.
It's just tinkering.
I did pick up the puppy to show you, but she doesn't like to, this one doesn't like to get picked up. So my Boston's very happy. She's
So just
sitting
take
here by
my word
side.
for it. They are big
Bostons.
dogs. They're not big dogs, but they're big for being Bostons. Yeah, he's right. Oh, you know that's going on there.
Oh, it's okay. You won't even, you might see it actually.
Oh, you're definitely going to see that. You're definitely going to see him making
yeah,
out
they're
with
my
a
baby.
dog.
They're my babies.
Hey, at least you're making out with somebody.
During the day when I sleep, this one likes to sleep with me. She
It's
actually will crawl up on the bed and lay down with me and sleep with me during
She
the
cuddles
afternoon.
with you?
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
at least you have somebody to cuddle with.
Hey, when you work nights and sleep during the day, you'll take whatever you can get. It's warm.
It's
It's a warm body.
You know,
Speaking of warm,
I was gonna say
it is warm in here today, but
It's been a warm day, and I'm just a warm person in general. I can't do that.
yeah, you're so hot.
So like when it comes to the whole relationship things and those kind of topics, I'm just a warm person.
Yeah.
So like the girls usually love it because they're like, "Oh, I'm so cold," all the time, and I'll cuddle with them for a while, and then I'm just like, I can't do this. I'm too hot.
Yeah.
I'm dying.
Yep. And we want to thank one of our founding sponsors, the Legion of St. Michael Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, founded in 2014 in Chicago, Illinois, by the Chicago Police Department.
They have many chapters throughout the United States and international. We are part of the Tucson chapter, and Eric is actually national president, and he got to go visit our international brothers down in Italy.
And moved on and saw some friends that we met in Italy and Qatar. But we're a 501c3 charitable organization that focuses on law enforcement and first responder families in their times of need, whether it be a death, financial issue, we're there to help support our brothers and sisters in blue.
Yep. Anything they need or their families need, we usually try to help out anything we can, any way we can, financially, or even if it's just moral support, being there for them, being able to help them out with anything they need or we can do for them.
So if you're interested in donating to the Legion of St. Michael, reach out to any of the chapters through us, through our many social media profiles that we have set up.
Being Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, YouTube, or Rumble. Any one of those, you can reach out to us, or you can reach out to us on our email, bikesmikesandidiots@gmail.com, and we'll try to get back to you as quickly as we can so you can help us out and do whatever you can.
And once again, thank you to Legion of St. Michael as a founding member. So that's because I work nights, I sleep in a different room. I have it set up with blackout curtains, so it's so dark. Like the brightest light in there is the one on the fire alarm. And so it's completely dark in there. Like when the alarm goes off, like I don't know if it's night or daytime. So I have to look at the phone and be like, okay, that's 4 p.m. Okay, that's afternoon.
That's discombobulating.
Oh, it's great. But it's great to sleep.
You
like
do
that's
that all the time, though. I'm guessing you do that all the time.
I have to do it.
Where you wake
I
up
have no
and
idea.
You're just lost.
I'm lost. I have no idea. So I have to look at my phone and see, like, I've even woke up after like a 2-hour nap. Mm-hmm. I'll take like an afternoon nap and be like thinking it was like a whole 24 hours worth of sleep. Because I'm like, oh my God, it's 4 o'clock. I'm thinking 4 o'clock in the morning because I felt good. I thought it was like a great sleep, and it wasn't.
And I mean, I've had those times where you nap and it's like you nap longer than you wanted to. You're planning to nap for maybe 30 minutes. You wake up and it's 2 hours later. You're just lost to the world. You're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And so I can imagine. I mean, I've done a few midnight shifts too.
So we're going to have a vehicle starting up in a second. Apparently one of the kids had to get picked up from school.
Ooh.
So you'll hear hopefully the garage door gets open before they back out of the garage, because otherwise we're going to have a problem.
It's okay. It's fine.
It's just a garage door.
We're just going to have some loud noises, guys. I'm sorry about that. You know, things happen.
Yeah, if somebody was cool, they'd rev it, but, you know.
I'm sure they don't.
Yep.
We got a rev.
Oh, there goes a rev.
Too bad it's a little V6.
Yeah, 3.6 liter.
Although it did have some power. I remember when you picked me up when I broke my leg, and that thing moved.
Yeah, it's actually pretty quick for what it is.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, on top of it having those big tires and everything.
Oh yeah, it just moves out. So, but yeah. So I mean, you know, it is what it is. We're gonna have a good time. Get that bike suspension fixed. And I'm looking so forward to the bike suspension
because you're gonna finally be able to
enjoy life.
Enjoy life. We enjoy life regardless. I don't know what you're talking about. We enjoy life regardless.
Yep.
But so
package is arriving today.
Ooh,
I just got another thing that it's not too far away.
Like I said,
if you hear me scream, and go ee and run, you'll know it's because I'm going to go get that.
It's because he's a child.
Yes.
And so you know what? I can't blame you.
I was going to say, if you had a set of Reinhardts show up for your bike, would you go running home
to
get them to put them on?
I totally would. Although my stuff probably would just get dropped off in the front and possibly get stolen.
Stolen, yeah. Well, you do live in the ghetto.
I really don't, but I mean,
I'm going to say you do.
A lot of stuff still gets stolen out of there. Actually, I did. So after I had moved in there, I've been living there for a few years now. I'm renting right now because I had sold my house because I needed to move. Who's going? Who's walking around?
Or guy stealing your stuff. That's going to get buzzed.
It's all right. We'll fix that. But no, like,
what could you do?
I ended up having to move to the opposite side of town, and just because of work things. And so I moved to the opposite side of town, and I had been living there for about a good year already. Hadn't had any problems. Yeah. And then one day I come home, and there's a cop car across the street on the other side of the street. And I was like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, oh, well, someone had been coming around the neighborhood, and they were checking cars, doing this stuff, this, that, and the other, and they broke into someone's car. Well, it turns out Luckily, the cop was already there. Turns out they had gotten into my car too.
Oh no!
So I lost.
Your
luckily-
Seal CDs, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've been kissed by a rose on the grave.
Hey, my CD book had lots of good CDs in there.
I'm sure it did.
But no, they ended up breaking into my car.
Into your bar?
Yeah.
Your bar car?
I wish I had a bar.
Oh.
But no, they broke into my car and ended up stealing just like a few bags I had in there. The worst part about it, though, was they stole my gym bag.
Your angry Jim.
my angry. The thing about it was that I had at least $1,500 worth of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like things get
They're
expensive.
not dumb. They know what to grab.
Well, and not to mention that bag alone was worth, just the bag was worth like $300. And it was kind of like a bag you can't find anymore, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I was pretty angry about that. Kind of pushed going to the gym back a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, because you got the pumpkin patrol going on. But yeah, I was so angry about it. But it's not a bad neighborhood. It's just
things happen.
It's dumb kids, really. What is it?
Well, most of the time, yeah.
But what are you gonna do? But so I was thinking about this the other day too. So I had thought about Red Lobster.
For the seafood lover in me.
Well, because this is the thing. I remember a while back people had talked about it where Red Lobster, they're like, I think it might have been a comedian talking about it, and they're like, if you thought Red Lobster was going out to a fancy restaurant when you were growing up, you were poor.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so it that had popped into my mind. And then all of a sudden, this whole thing came up about Red Lobster might be going bankrupt.
And the shrimp apparently cost them more money than they thought because there's guys like me who like shrimp.
Well, here's the crazy thing. So you remember when they did, back in the day, they used to do endless crab legs?
Oh, yeah.
So me and my dad had gone in one time. And we did the endless crab legs. It was like $35, which is probably more expensive than what it used to be. Than like just getting a pound of crab legs. And we had gone in. We probably, each of us, ordered an extra 7 orders on top of your normal order. And we remember...
You got a friend next to you.
Ooh. It's always good to have a friend.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we had ordered like a good 7 orders each. My dad ordered probably like an 8 or 9 on top of it. My dad always could eat more than I could.
Yeah.
But we did that, and then I remember thinking a few years later, they stopped doing the endless crab legs because of people like us.
Yeah. Well, that's like I could if I took my son to that.
Oh,
that kid's he's 6'2", 235, 17 years old. He's a big kid, and he loves crab legs. He can house quite a few rounds of crab legs. Like that's no crap. He's definitely able to knock that out of the park. Like that boy eats.
Could you imagine how much that actually cost that company?
Millions.
Easily. But then again, this is where stuff like that makes their money, is that they're like, we're gonna do endless XYZ thing.
No. Well,
How much
like
do people
Olive
actually
Garden. I
eat?
went to Olive Garden the other day. Unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks. Mm-hmm. Like, love it. I love it.
How have they not gone out of business doing that?
Because
you know
honestly, the breadsticks are cheap to make, and they fill you up. So people do the same thing that I did. You fill up on the breadsticks. I had 2 bowls of soup, and we had
Their
breadsticks
soups are
and salad.
delicious.
And the salad there is amazing. Like I don't know, they put crack in their salad. That's what I think, because it's just that good.
Yeah.
It's just that good.
Oh yeah, no, their salad's pretty good, but their soups are the best.
Yeah, I like the zuppa toscana.
Me too.
Yep, that's my favorite.
It's so good.
The
But
minestrone's
the
not
bad
bad.
part is that they bring it out in such a shallow bowl, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm done. Can I have another one?
Yeah. May I please have another, sir? No, you may not. You are not allowed to eat here anymore.
Hold on. Let's see. Try it again.
Hello. You're not able to eat any soup here anymore. Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Ooh, don't want that.
No.
But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know how they honestly haven't gone out of business when they do the endless bread and salad or endless soup and salad. Whatever.
I think it's because the bread, like I said, the bread is so cheap for them to buy.
It tastes so good.
Oh, and that's how they get you. It's the bread. The bread fills you up. So, like, I think, I honestly, and this is just conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat.
Conspiracy theory.
I don't think they raise the bread as far as they can, as far as, yeasting it out. So when it gets into your stomach, it expands.
That is full-on conspiracy theory there.
But what do you think about it?
It made me think. Don't get me wrong. You saw me look off into the distance for a second to think about it.
No, that would not surprise me that that's something they would do. I don't even know if that's possible. I don't know. But it's good. So we did. I had like 3 or 4 bowls of salad. We had 2 rounds of breadsticks, and I had like 3 bowls of soup. And I was so full.
Oh,
so full.
Yeah. A normal person would have had like a salad, a soup,
and
a few
2
breadsticks.
Oh, yeah, no.
And they're good.
Well, it wasn't just me. I mean, I was sharing. So, well, at least the breadsticks and the salad. Because honestly, I probably had, when you think about like a plate of salad there, you're looking at 2 scoops out of that salad bowl. It's not that much salad.
No, it really isn't. And salad's kind of a weird thing if you think about it. Because that's what my food eats.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
what does a salad taste like? Beef. Steak.
Oh my God, I love steak. Oh. Yeah, and so you know what the weird thing is?
Well, when you went with us to Georgia and we stopped at Saltgrass, everybody had the phenomenal meal except the one guy. Poor Shadow was like, this tastes like crap. And everyone else was like, we were like, we ate all of our food. And he's sitting there, he's like, this is terrible. And we're like, wait, are we in the same place? Because mine was amazing.
Yeah, everyone was.
Although we did do the big 72 ouncer. Well, we went there. We didn't do the 72 ouncer in Amarillo. There's no way I was going to eat that. Like when I saw how big the actual steak was before they put it on there.
Imagine just eating that much food
no
in
way.
general of
no
anything. Way. Like you're a big guy, I'm not a small guy.
But then you see you see all these competitive eaters, and the chick who ate like 4 of them in the time frame is tiny, like 110 pounds.
Isn't that insane?
And she knocked out 4 of those things in the time allotted for somebody else to do 1.
How? How do they do that? That's what I want to know. It's like how these people put that down and are able to just be normal
and not throw up everywhere.
Yes, exactly.
So, like, the cool thing is if you look at, I forget the name of the steakhouse, but you can actually find them on YouTube. If you look up Amarillo 72-ounce steak, they live stream all of their steak eats on YouTube.
Do they really?
Yeah. So they live stream them, and then you can also
a better setup than we do.
Oh, absolutely. They don't do it in the garage without AC. Although, honestly, what we're doing right now, it's funny because I have the door open to the house, blowing the cold AC into the garage just because it was that cold.
It was
that hot in here. I mean,
you
know what?
Warm. When I rode over today, it was so nice. But then once I got here and we did things, it was way too much. It was way too hot.
Well, and then, when you think about it, too, we had 2 bikes that had just been running hard on the highway. Yeah, so they're throwing heat off. And then the Jeep comes in and gets parked in the garage. That's throwing heat. Like, everything that's in here throws heat off.
Yeah.
Except for...
And us.
Yeah,
us
we're like...
Because, we're hot.
We're hot men.
We're hot.
We're flaming hot.
I want
we're just like Cheetos.
I want to think that.
Yeah, well...
Is it
we
true?
Can think anything.
Probably
we
not.
Can think anything in our own minds. It doesn't matter.
I was about to say, yeah, it's probably not true, but sorry about the extra noises you guys are probably hearing right now.
Carbon monoxide poisoning and stuff like that. It's okay. I mean,
you know what? We've probably been through worse.
Oh yeah,
that's not the worst thing that's happened to us. Probably not even today.
I'm just gonna stare.
Nope, they're not even gonna look.
Nope. Avoid eye contact. Run away. Put door down.
I was about to say if you don't make eye contact, that means you don't have to talk to the person.
Exactly. So I think the next thing, what we're going to start looking at maybe not. It might be next month because I'm putting the suspension on the bike this month. But I'm going to get a standalone AC unit and we're going to put it in here and start it before we go to lunch.
I was going to say, thinking about it,
we're
about to start getting into the hundreds down here. Yeah, it's going to be bad.
So if we do that, we'll be able to start it before we go to lunch. That gives us an hour and a half for it to cool down the garage a little bit. And it doesn't have to get it cold. It just needs to take the edge off. And I think mount it right back here and putting the vent outside this vent. The vent's there for a reason anyway, so
yeah,
we'll just set it through there. We'll figure it out.
I mean, and since you're already talking about having to do your suspension and all that stuff, so when this whole thing happened, I thought it was hilarious. For some reason, just scrolling through Instagram, I ended up having something pop up.
I hurt myself today. Yeah, you're not wrong.
It basically all it said. And
it was perfect.
It's on our Instagram and everything. But it said, after 35 riding dirt bikes. And I was like, this is Eric today.
Exactly. I mean, it's almost like walking around and you got a happy dragon in your pocket. It is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Things just happen.
I hate that saying.
What, happy dragon?
No. The other part.
Oh.
It is what it is. I hate that
Oh, it is
saying.
what it
I
is?
hate that. It goes into my whole like YOLO thing. It's
Yeah.
because of how people use it. It's kind of like they're trying to brush things off.
Well,
and
it's
not-
like
and avoid the situation.
I tell people at work, like they're like, "Oh, how you doing?" Well, I'll live in the dream. They're like, "Oh, really? This is the dream?" I'm like, "Yep, nightmares are dreams too." And they're like, "Oh."
There you go. I've said that too.
Yes.
I've honestly said that to people too.
But it's
Nightmares
true.
are just- yeah, it is. It absolutely
And
is.
it's all about your perception. Because nightmares used to freak me out. Like I had some crazy ass nightmares when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and then now I'm like, I play with them.
Had night terrors.
I play with them. Oh, I'd wake up in the middle of the night
You
screaming.
play with what?
I play with my dreams. I'd be like messing with them.
Yeah.
But like I've even woken up here like it's a typical law enforcement dream where you're being attacked and you pull your weapon out to shoot them and it doesn't work. Oh, and it's like
That's the worst. I guarantee.
and every law enforcement officer has had that dream. Guaranteed they've had that dream or at least had that thought in the middle of other
Yeah.
stuff like it's
Daydream
oh
or
my God, it's
or
scary.
normal dream.
Scary things.
Yeah.
And that's why
panic.
I'm like very anal about keeping my firearms in very good working order. Like I
You
clean
like
them.
anal?
Shut up. I keep them very clean. I like make sure everything's functional. I do function checks.
You know what? Yeah, I totally believe that
Because that's the last thing I need. Like that'd be my luck. You know, I've done this for 24 years. I can retire in 1 year, 1 month, and 2 days, and that would be like my luck. Like the last day something happens and I get dropped, and that would be my luck.
See, that's
the
terrible
way
way
my
to think
life
about
is
it. But
gone.
you know what though? I can't really blame you for it because
That
We're
light
not-
is so close at the end of the tunnel right now for me.
I wish because but what I was saying is that I can't blame you for it because I used to think when I was younger. Obviously, I'm getting old now, but I mean,
I didn't fully say the word, so you shouldn't have to bleep that one.
No,
but you know
we're
where
good.
it was going.
I know where you were going. Yeah, I know exactly where you're going.
Off.
But but I mean, I used to not ever be able to picture my life past 35.
Yeah, and here you are, 36.
Yeah.
I always thought as a kid, anybody who makes it to 40 is like almost dead. I'm 46 years old now. Yeah, I feel almost dead after last weekend. But honestly, like, and it goes to everything we've talked about, perception.
Yeah, perception is key.
Bikers, perception. Oh yeah, they're all these scumbags who ride around and they're terrible criminals. No, 99.999% of them aren't.
No, they really aren't.
You know, and then 40's old. Like my parents are in their 80s now, and I'm like, 80s.
Although I guarantee you, if we were to both ask our kids, they'd be like, "You guys are old.
Oh,
You guys are
guaranteed,
effing old."
guaranteed. But here's my thing: like, even though my boy's taller and bigger than me, like he's just a beast.
He is a big kid.
He still has a healthy fear.
Yeah.
So, like, what he's told- what
absolutely.
he's told,
you have to make sure they have.
He's
that.
told my wife before she was giving him some crap. She said, "I bet you could take your dad," and he goes, "Absolutely not." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" He goes, "You survived in a job for over 20 years where people have tried to kill you pretty much every day, and you're still alive.
See, and that's
What does that tell you?"
That's a great like that also means other things too. That also
Yes.
means like he respects you a lot too.
Yes, yeah.
Which is a great thing because
He's a good kid. He really is a good kid.
no, he really is.
And his
But-
plan, like I don't know if we've talked about it before, his plan is to go into officer candidate school, ROTC, join the military, serve his country that way first, and then join some other law enforcement agencies possibly later, or make a career in the military. He said it depends on how it goes, but he wants to really serve his country, and that makes me so proud. I did not. I went to college for 4 years, and then I served my country a different way. I got into law enforcement. But I really regret, there's a part of me that regrets not doing military service to protect our country. And the fact that my son is so into wanting to do it makes me extremely, extremely proud as a parent. Like that's, he's willing to sacrifice. He wants to sacrifice or have the possibility of sacrificing himself for his country. And there's no bigger, in the Bible, there's no bigger sacrifice than for a man to give a life for his brother.
Yes.
And with our club, we have Matthew 5:9 on our jackets.
Yep.
And that is, oh shoot.
It is the peacemakers.
Oh yeah. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will inherit they will be called the children of God. It depends on
called the children of God.
There's 3 or 4 different translations. I totally blanked on that for a second.
It's either that or they will inherit the earth.
Yeah, or they will inherit the earth. It depends on the King James versus other versions of the Bible, but
I mean, and that's the thing.
There's something for it.
There's a reason for that, and it's because if you really think about it, if you really think about societies in general, they're the peacemakers, meaning law enforcement, anything like that. Yep. They're the ones that keep society running. Yes, because without rules, you fall into anarchy. Yes,
and we're seeing some of that today on campuses and stuff. And I don't get into the politics of it, but the anarchy is scary to me. Like people who want to live without rules. Oh, ban all police officers. All cops are bastards. Kind of stuff.
The thought of it is like, especially when you're younger. The thought of it is
I don't want authority.
Cool,
yeah,
but
the reality of it is terrible because when you live in a lawless society, the first people to go are those idiots.
Yeah, it's a scary thing when you really think about it because you don't have anyone enforcing anything. So
you better protect yourself. Yes. And most of the people who believe in that don't believe in a Second Amendment. They don't believe in protecting themselves. Whereas the ones who don't believe that, who believe in authority, most of them are 2A carrying people.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like because regardless of where you are, law enforcement is not.
I'm going to break into you.
The be all.
This is amazing.
Yes, it is.
The stuff you got today is amazing.
And the reason I bought it was because it matches my logos.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and you know what's absolutely crazy? I found a deck of cards in here the other day. Guess what's the only card I didn't have?
Ace of Spades.
Yep. How of all, like that, it's weird. Like that, it just goes to like, I believe in fate. I believe people are supposed to meet the people they meet for multitude of reasons.
Yeah.
And I think, you and I were met to me, and we talked about it today about how we joke about everything, like how we can say stuff to each other that people are like, what the heck? And we're,
how
for us, we're just like
actually friends.
It just,
sometimes
it just is what it is. And with things at work, every once in a while, I chew your butt because of things that happen at work. And then every once in a while, you chew my butt about things. And we're just we go back and forth. We understand. It is how things happen.
I was about to say, if you said it again, I was going to bring it up, but I'm still going to bring it up anyways.
Yeah.
I hate that saying of it is what it is.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We scroll well. We SOS that.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So let me
I get the point behind it. I get the point behind that you can't change some of the things that happen to you, so just move forward.
But that's the thing. That's the reason. Yeah. That's the reason. I always explain it to people when I tell them of like I hate that saying for that reason, and it is. It isn't
what it is.
What it is.
Sorry.
It isn't. It is what it is. It is what you make of it.
Yes.
Because like regardless of whether
it's your
you're
reaction
brush
to
it
stimuli.
Off, yes. Even if you're going to brush it off and be like, that didn't happen. Granted, it happened.
Yeah.
How do you react to it? What are you going to do about it? And if your reaction is going to be like, you know what, it's not a big thing for me. It doesn't matter to me. I'm better than that.
Yeah.
That's not, it is what it is. It's still not, it is what it is. Because
I handled what it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I get that. And I get it when people say
it. It's what I call coping skills.
Yes.
Like how much can you handle before it throws you over the edge? And everybody has a limit or that one thing that's like, no, you talk about that, we're going to have a problem.
Yes.
For me, it's my wife. People talk crap about my wife. I have a problem with it very quickly.
Yes, absolutely. And as it should be.
And like we razz each other, and like there's guys who can give me crap about my wife. There's a few that can, but it's because we're that close. But then you get that guy from the outside. He's like, oh, we're bagging on his wife. I'm going to do it too, and you're going to die. Like that's not that's and as soon as they start to open their mouth, everybody's like, shh, you shouldn't do that.
You're about to die.
Yeah, and I'm very lucky with I used to be a lot thinner. But still about the same size as far as hands, arms.
Yeah, no, you're like thick.
Yeah.
When it comes to like, not that kind of thick.
I'm big, thick, and juicy.
Yeah.
But
not
like,
that kind of thick.
I've had a few guys square off, and it's never ended out good for them. And I'm not going to claim to be a crazy fighter, or anything like that. But I grew up playing hockey. So throwing fists was part of what you learned. When you played hockey back then, it was, you're going to be in a fight. You're a defenseman, you're going to fight.
Yeah.
They touch your goal, you're taking them out. Like one way or another, you're throwing gloves on the ground, your helmet's coming off, you're going to pull their jersey over their head, and you're going to hit them.
Yeah.
And, that's one of those things that kind of...
It's that protective instinct.
Yeah. Like if somebody swings on me, it's not good.
Yeah, but it's that protective instinct, and having to do with your wife, it's a protective instinct.
But you could attest to everybody that I'm very I'm very non-confrontational. I don't start confrontation, but I don't back away from it.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
And you and I know exactly what we're talking about on that one.
Yeah, that one was, I wish I was there for it. Just whole situation. But I mean, but that's the thing is like people do see it as that's their way to just say, I'm blowing it off.
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid the situation. Yeah. And I just don't like, I don't
agree with that. I don't agree with that concept of it. Like you shouldn't, everything that happens to you, you shouldn't try to avoid it. Like I don't avoid conflict. I don't go to it. I don't go away from it.
Unless it's your bills.
Well, that's a different story.
Or taxes.
Taxes?
I
don't like taxes.
But sorry, I just had to interject that.
Yeah, no, taxes, I will avoid them at all costs. No, I pay what is necessary for the requirements of the law. No. So the IRS, if you're listening to this, I paid my taxes as you said was okay. And I do have, the company has me covered in case you guys do an audit. So game on.
Yeah. No,
but no, I mean, I at this point with my income level, standard deduction is all I can claim anyway. So,
yeah. But
what am I going to claim extra? It's the standard deduction. Like it's what I'm allowed to claim by law. So, I'm not a fat cat that can. I've got my 16 boats in the Mediterranean that I don't claim because they make income. Like I wish I could do that. I'm not at that point.
I wish I had something that just made income just because it was there.
We do. It's a podcast.
No, but we
have to work. We work a lot for this.
That. Yeah, we have to put a lot of effort.
A lot of sweat in our 90-degree.
One day, maybe we won't have to sweat for it. But
I mean, pretty far up there.
That's part of the reason. It's just people trying to avoid things.
Yeah,
and it's what life doesn't allow you to avoid everything all the time.
Well, and to me, it's like the generation of people who want me to pay for their school.
Oh,
they want to avoid the responsibility of paying for their college bills because they went to college.
Yeah.
Well,
you went.
I went to college and I paid my own damn bills. I shouldn't have to pay yours too. I got my own kids' bills to pay for.
Yeah, I have my own bills. Everyone has their own bills. Everyone has their own responsibility.
So I think that has been a very, very bad situation for us to get into. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to go any farther into it.
I don't think we should get deeper into that because that's going to take us down
a real very big rabbit hole that's going to be like hours of us yelling and being mad, and it's not worth it.
I'm not trying to be angry on this podcast.
Just it is what it is.
This podcast was not to be angry.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But screw you. No. But I think that's a lot of the reason people say that. No, and don't get me wrong, and I understand when people say it is what it is.
I think you're right.
For certain situations.
I think you're right.
But I hate it. I absolutely hate it. It just irks me.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things of like, no, you just can't avoid this situation. This is not one of those, it is what it is.
No.
I can't. You know what? You can't do anything about it.
And I hate to use this as an example for it is what it is. You get cancer.
Yeah.
There's nothing you could have done to prevent it.
Yes.
It happens. That is
But-
a situation of
but-
it is what it is. But how do you react to it? Okay, I'm going to get
Exactly.
treatment. I'm going, or
Or you know what?
I had a
I've
friend who
accepted this,
literally
and
just,
this is what-
my best man literally just died just recently from colon cancer, 46 years old.
I'm sorry.
Out of nowhere. And, you know, what he did is once he found out he had it and it was terminal, he's like, you know what? The next 6 months we're living.
Exactly.
And he lived. And he lived and he enjoyed the last moments he had with his family and his kids.
And that
me
wasn't
great.
it is what it is.
No, it's,
you know what I mean?
Because this is, you know what? I've got it. I'm moving on, and we're going to have the best time that we can do, and I'm going to fight this thing as hard as I can. It's not it is what it is. So.
Absolutely. And we've actually touched on that before, and I've said like cancer's taking people, and that's a big thing for me too.
Yeah.
And that's kind of plays also into it is you have cancer or you have some kind of disease, you have something happened, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's not. It is what it is. It is what you make of it.
Yeah.
It is what you make of it.
You
And
can
that's why I
choose
don't
to
like
you
it.
can choose to die from it, or you can choose to live because of it.
Yeah.
And
It's
and
all
you
your
might
reaction.
beat it, you might not.
Absolutely.
You know. So yeah. Anyway.
No, but you brought up a great point of it because stuff like that. It does.
Yeah.
It makes you think differently.
Oh yeah, like I've scheduled now a colonoscopy for myself. I'm getting PET screenings. Like I never would have thought at 45 I would have to, or well, 46 I would have to worry about that stuff. Like it was always the recommendation was always 50 or beyond.
Yeah.
You know, and now my buddy got it, and it was through his entire body at 46.
And
That's scary. And he was super. Like I'm talking, watch what he eat. Everything that came in, he watched what he ate. He didn't drink much. He worked out all the time. He was in really good shape, and boom, it kills him like that quick.
and that's one of those things though. It is one of those you got to kind of keep on top of yourself too.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, and he actually scheduled his regular colonoscopy before he had found out, and all of a sudden he was like, something's not right.
Yeah.
So he went in for an emergency one, and that's when they found it, and they're like, oh wait, it's in your liver, it's in your back,
and see that's
and like how the hell?
and some things are unavoidable.
Yeah. He couldn't have done anything to prevent it.
No, and that's why it makes it, like I said, that's why it still plays into that. It is what you make of it, because you could be doing all the right things
Yeah.
and still end up in a bad situation. It doesn't
Oh, and
matter.
that's where I go to fate. So, he set up a, what's it called?
GoFundMe.
No, not that. I'm to GoFundMe.
Oh.
That everybody jumped onto. But he set up like a scholarship at the school that he worked at, and so now people are going to get an education in his name. So he turned something that was so terrible and made it into, hey, the last thing I want to do before I go is to help other people, and that's the kind of guy he was. And I mean, just a great dude. And
But that just plays into
here I am tearing up on our podcast.
Yeah,
but
I know.
It just,
And I understand
Yeah.
it. I absolutely understand it. And I'm not being insensitive by any means. I can tell you, I can kind of throw this in there since we're already going down this road. Like, my dad and my nephew both died of cancer.
Yep.
Do you know how much I cried
Oh,
for either one of them?
unbelievable, yeah.
I didn't.
No,
No.
just never dealt with it.
It's not that I didn't deal with it. I had to deal with it in a different way, and it had to
Yeah.
do with having to be there for my family, all that kind of stuff.
Stepping up.
Yeah. So I had to be the strong. I had to be the strong person,
Yep.
and so I didn't get those chances to just tear up, cry out, and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But I had to deal with it in my own way, a different way. But that's why, like, it turned me into kind of a certain person.
Yeah.
I 100%
Well,
feel for it, but but I'm not super emotional.
Yeah, everybody's experiences will shape them a certain way, and it deals with how you deal with stimulus. Like it's a whole lot of the nature versus nurture. Like I think honestly, some people are naturally more resilient to things, and then I also think,
I'm gonna have to fix that later.
yeah, I also think sometimes people learn resiliency. So I think there's a little bit of both. I think certain people are just naturally resilient. They just no matter what happens, they're like, meh. But then there's people who learn that skill, and I think the people who have the natural resiliency and then learn to handle it better even more, they're like they're your high end operators. They're your SOCOM dudes. They're your guys who just they just process it.
Yeah.
No.
They, and it comes down to how you're able to process things.
Well, exactly. So, anyway, on that, we just talked about some military guys, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about military. So I think this is a really good spot for us to take a break real quick and give a shout out to Sketchy.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick break, give a shout out to Sketchy and our other sponsor, the Legion of St. Michael, and we'll be right back here in just a second to finish out our cast for the day.
Alrighty. Going over one of our sponsors, one of our founding sponsors here. It's going to be Sketchy Alias. He's a good buddy of mine. Known him for a long time. He is a freelance graphic designer from Arizona who specializes in vector-based artwork. It's actually really cool if you were to ever look into that. It's actually a cool thing. I've done a little bit of design myself, and he is amazing at it. He's shown me everything I've known so far, except for the stuff I learned myself, but he's taught me, even though I've done it for a while, he's taught me quite a few things, even recently. He's been working in design for over 15 years. And he works on everything from logos, apparel design, and social media. He's actually done a few stuff for us. He's done our logo, and looking forward to the stuff he's going to do for us because he's going to be doing all our artwork. So check him out. He's on Instagram. He has his own webpage. Go check out his stuff. Buy some of his merch. He is top notch. Alrighty, guys, we're back from the break. And we had left off on Dr. Evil.
It is an evil Boston Terrier.
No, we had left off on a whole cancer thing. And it's a big thing for both of us, honestly.
Yeah.
And I would like to say there is a lot of places that have done a lot of good things for a lot of people. I can say, me personally, with my nephew, Ronald McDonald House and St. Jude did a lot of good things for him. They did a lot of great things, and they helped out a ton. I would like to say as well that please do your research on who you do your charitable donations to. Because,
and that's every charity.
Yes.
Every charity.
In general. Because a lot of places, they try to tug on your heartstrings, and realistically...
I wish you said that when I had the dog up here. Is this your dog? Is she sad in the back of the house?
we could have put
ASPCA.
We could have put the
in
what is it?
eyes of an angel.
Yeah, we could have put that going on.
Oh God, I'm sorry, guys. You had to listen to that singing. It was terrible.
But it gave you the idea.
But yeah, no, it did. We knew exactly. Everybody knows
everybody
that.
That's so terrible. I hate that they do that. But I mean, they do. Realistically, they do good stuff. She just wants a sneak preview of what everyone else is going to get.
Exactly. She's already listening to the podcast now. She's like, first like. Oh, we ought to do that because we can track who did the first like, right?
Maybe. I've been working on that.
Let's
I've been
figure
working
out
on trying to see if we can.
What we need to do is for one of these. And we'll tell them at the very end of the podcast for the next podcast, the first like or the first comment, and we'll set up some sort of deal for them where we get them some cool swag.
So here's a good one. Here's one I know we can track.
Yeah,
is once we get to a certain level, we start getting enough subscribers, all that stuff, then we can start doing our super likes, super stickers, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
On YouTube at least.
Yeah.
You know, we post it on many channels, but we end up doing.
I totally SOS'd us off of
yeah.
our thing, but anyway, just look forward to what's coming.
We could do those things though. We could actually do to where someone, the first person, and we can do something special for them. That might be a little bit later. That might be a little bit later because we're new. We don't make that kind of money.
Not yet.
But we could try to do a little something special for them, and then maybe as it grows, we can try to do eventually the first person that does a super super this, that, whatever, to where we,
you donated a cowboy hat. You get a cowboy hat.
Yeah. Well, cowboy hats are pretty pricey.
No, they're not.
Well, it depends what kind of cowboy hat you're looking at. The cowboy hats I wear.
Yeah,
they
make you want to get punched in the face. So needless to say, we got a pineapple beer, and I'm going to throw this in there before we get back to the cancer research stuff. We got a pineapple beer today, or pineapple cider, technically.
Pineapple cider, yes.
So we're drinking whiskey in the small cups,
Yes.
a type of whiskey, and I'm not going to get into it because they don't sponsor us yet, but we're going to reach out to them to see if they want to. If they do,
never
we'll...
said those kind of things because,
What's that?
but I mean,
Yeah.
they don't need to know what type of things we're drinking out of these cups.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, most of the time we're drinking water out of these cups.
Most of the time. But this one specifically was a whiskey and a pineapple cider. And the whiskey, you take a sip of the whiskey and then take a sip of the pineapple cider.
Oh, no.
Amazing.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because it does taste phenomenal. It brings
It's
out,
such
it brings
a
out
weird
the pineapple.
The taste of the whiskey literally pops that pineapple.
It really does.
It makes no sense whatsoever. But anyway.
And you would think a pineapple cider would be kind of weird. Most people don't really like pineapple.
It's good. It is really good.
It's so good. So if you guys think we've been doing a little bit too much today, it's probably because of that combination.
It might be. It might be.
It might be. But yeah, so I mean, this whole charity thing.
Yeah.
Like I love charities, and
Well,
that's part of the reason why we did Legion of St. Michael and everything, because we're able to help the community do all those things.
Yeah.
But a lot of charities do kind of
Very
take
high
advantage.
operating costs.
Yeah, they take advantage. So please do, if you do donate to charities, please do your research. Do your research.
And I think by law with a 501c3, they have to show their administrative cost if they're a larger charity. Like your local hometown charities, probably not so much. But the bigger nationwide charities, they all have an administrative cost listed on their site. And I believe they're required to by law.
Yeah.
So take a look at them and find the one that works best for you. Like whether it's cancer research, animal cruelty, saving animals, any kind
Lou
of
Gehrig's
disease,
any
like
kind of
whatever
diseases,
it
any
is.
kind
Take
of
a
thing.
look at it and see where you think your money's going to be best spent.
Scholarship type things, all that kind of thing. Do your research.
Yep.
Please do your research, because I hate to see people getting taken advantage of.
And no matter what you do, if you decide it's the right charity for you, just know you're giving to a charity.
Yes.
And it's a good thing. It's a phenomenal thing. We all do it. But we inform ourselves before we do it as well.
Yes.
So that's the big thing, is we make sure we inform ourselves on the charities that we're utilizing. Because I've seen charities upwards in the 95% is administrative costs. Like,
that's ridiculous.
and I'm not going to shout any of them out that I know that are like crazy ones, because they have way better
we're not
lawyers than we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's some I've seen at like 90 and 95%. So 5% of your money goes in, and I don't think that's fair. I personally think that violates the trust you have with the people.
Yes, absolutely.
So do your research, find out those ones that have, and I'm not saying if one has a 20% or 30% administrative cost, that might just be the cost of doing business because of where they're at.
And you know what? Honestly, if we really we're trying to get down in numbers, realistically, those aren't the numbers, because most of them, when they throw out numbers, it says about 33%, and those are the high end, 33% of certain things. And realistically, 33% is actually a good one, because the 33% is what you're actually getting to the cause, to the research, to the everything. And they're like, oh, 10%. They try to mess with the numbers to make you feel good.
Yep.
Realistically, in the 30%, because granted, and I understand this, and I think most people do. Yeah. Is there's that administrative cost. You got to pay for people to run the business and do all the stuff and marketing and everything.
So, I mean, we all know there's costs involved. 100%. We understand that.
But those ones that are in the 30%, those are the higher end ones. Honestly, there is not one that I've seen personally that are in the 80 to 90% of what you actually donate goes to the cause.
Yeah.
It realistically doesn't happen.
No, I've seen the most of what I see is about the vast majority I see is about the 50% range. half of your cost goes to administrative, half of your cost goes to the charity.
And even that,
And that's pretty good. That's a good one.
That's good.
That's a really good one. And usually those are like one of the ones I saw was a Catholic Charities one, because the church really doesn't have a huge cost.
Yeah. So
And I will say I am not Catholic. I am Christian. There's a difference there. So
yeah.
I was raised Catholic and then decided that was not my pathway, and and I've got other people that
But
we have all walks of
That's the
life.
thing. But to each their own.
Yeah.
You find along the way, as when you're growing up, you find along the way that what you want.
Yeah.
What you want to do.
Sorry,
where you want to go.
I hate to laugh,
You're
but
squared.
my dog's sitting over there going,
Yeah.
sniffing everywhere to try to find. What are you doing, Piper? What are
If
you
only
doing,
everyone
baby?
could see what we're seeing.
Oh God, it's hilarious. She was laying down in front of the fridge for a minute, and then she's just a good puppy.
We love dogs here.
She's
obviously.
my little cuddle bunny. She's my baby.
Obviously, that's why she's out here.
Yeah.
But no, I mean it is
No.
it's a big thing. So please do your research.
Yes.
Do what you need to do.
And give, honestly, if you can afford it. And I never want to force people to donate, but sometimes it's donating time. Go to a soup kitchen.
Yeah.
Go to a soup kitchen, donate some time to help feed some people, especially like go through the VA, try to find some shelters that deal with veterans.
Yeah.
Oh, do something like that. It doesn't have to be monetary. And that's the best part is it can be time. It can be, hey, I'm going to stuff envelopes for this charity. It's going to be, there's so many different things you can do
a
to
lot of
help.
great things doing
Yes.
that. And it's about, honestly, it's about the reach and all that stuff. Me personally, I would love to see better reach, better costs that go to people.
That's a UPS truck. I'll be right back.
Okay, so I'll
Keep
go
talking.
off on a little monologue for a little bit. But I would love to see a better cost that goes to people and get to see these charities actually do a little bit more with the money that gets to go to them. But the thing is, there is cost involved. There's a lot of cost involved, so it's understandable. But please do give to charity, because that is what keeps society going. That's the thing that gets people in the door. It gets people, to what they need to get to. Because a lot of people need that extra help. Because you never know when something's going to happen, when you might need it. And I believe personally that if you did things for other people, you'll get back in kind. Because if you're a charitable person and you're a good person, you'll get back in kind. It might not always feel that way, but charities are there for a reason. Don't get me wrong. I wish charities didn't make as much money as they did, or as they do. Because honestly, do you know what the most profitable company or the most profitable business is?
Isn't it Goodwill or is it Red?
No.
Salvation Army?
As a generality.
Oh no, I don't know.
Charities, they're the most profitable business. So that's the portion I don't like. She's
Well,
loving it.
I feel bad. I just got done dirty by Amazon. It was an Amazon truck, not a UPS truck.
Oh, poor you. Poor you. It was the wrong truck. But yeah, I would love to see people be able to give to charities, and like we've said before, with our motorcycle club, we're a 501c3. So, if you guys would like to donate to us, we'll be able to put out
Jump
information
on our
for us.
website.
And
we got our Venmo. we
for
got
us,
everything.
if you really think about it, stuff like what we do,
Our
with,
administrative costs are very low.
but yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
We
like, we're-
basically have a CPA to cover our taxes at the end of the year, and that's it.
and that's pretty much our cost, because everything else is donations, everything like that.
Yep.
So if you find places like that, that is great to give. Those are great places to give to, because
Toys for Tots, any Toys for Tots ones that you do,
those are good
you
too.
give them the toys. Those toys go directly to the kids. Now, most of the time, they have some sort of money involved as well.
Yeah.
look at the money as an investment, but the toys go directly to the kids, and that gives a direct benefit to the children that it goes to, and I love that.
But when you're giving a charity, when you're giving a charity, you got to understand that that's not money. That's not money that you're like, I'm investing it in something.
Well,
that's
I think
money
you're
that
investing
you're.
it. I think you're investing it into your soul. That's my personal view.
Actually,
It's not an investment.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that. I
Yeah.
like that idea. You're investing in your soul.
Yeah.
So when you do that, think about it that way. Think about it the way Eric thinks about it, because I've never thought about it that way. That's money that you're investing in your soul. So please do give to charities. They do great work. I would love to see them do better, but we live in the society we live in, and there's not a lot we can do about those things.
And I'm a very big man petting a very small dog. I love this baby.
Small is relative,
Yeah, that's true.
because those are big Bostons.
You got to admit, she's cute, though.
No, absolutely.
So this is Piper. It's my baby.
That's your baby. That's your
Yep.
cuddle buddy.
Yep.
I need to find me a cuddle buddy.
I'm just a phone call away.
Yeah, but we live like 20 minutes away from each other.
Yeah,
that's
true.
a long.
It'd make it too much for you to be getting up in the morning or me
That's
getting
a
up at night.
long way to
Yeah,
go.
It's too much.
We'll just cuddle when we cuddle.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, we talk about the charities and it's great, and I've always thought that, like I said, it's an investment in your soul, because I can't take the money with me. I'm not saying go out and
You're not a
give
pharaoh?
everything you have.
You're not a pharaoh.
No.
You can't take what you have with you.
I wish. No, but I mean, I'm not saying take everything you have, but do what you can to help other people when you can, and it doesn't.
Absolutely.
And it necessarily doesn't have to be monetary.
So
There's
on
so
that
many other
topic
things
of
you
you
can do.
can't take things with you, I love this song. Absolutely, the camera's going to be on you for that one.
Woo!
I love this song.
Let me put her down.
I love this song, and it's a song that like.
Oh God.
So have you heard the song from Hardy? And I'm not saying it's a new song by any means. Song by Hardy.
Did you
called,
smell that?
No, I did not.
So-
I'm glad I didn't smell
So
it.
needless to say, I'm sorry to cut you off, but Boston's have a one-way valve, and it's not a good one. Whoa. Whoa. Oh.
I was
I
trying to play.
I could
was
taste
trying to
that
play
one.
ar- I was trying to play.
Like all of
around
a sudden,
that
did you
one.
see it? I was like,
I saw.
Whoa.
I saw your face.
woo. They're Boston Terriers. That's what they do. They fart and they sleep.
I mean, that's what we do. Also,
Yeah, I mean, why do you think I love her so much? She's just like me.
no, but like I was saying, this whole song of Hardy, "Give Heaven Some Hell."
Oh, yeah.
Give Heaven Some Hell. That's a song I wish is played at my funeral, but I think that's a great song about talking about that whole thing of, you do your things here, and I hope, you get that in the afterlife.
Exactly.
Whatever that may be. And granted, we're not trying to push any agenda.
No. I think you look across almost every.
Did you just say across?
I did. I said across.
I had to.
Oh, now you're gonna have to
It's all
pop out
good.
that one.
It's all good. We'll
But I think
get that in editing.
You look at every major religion. There's a do unto others. There's the golden rule. Do unto others is what you would wish have done to you. Like, treat people with respect, and that
Absolutely.
goes. That's across the board. Like, we do that. We try to live by that. I mean, we don't
Absolutely.
respect each other very much, but in
I mean,
our
it
way, that
depends-
is respect.
It depends on your view of respect.
In our way, that is respect, because if we don't mess with each other, we know. Like, there's been days where I've seen you and I've been like, no, and I just walk away, and you're like, dude, something's wrong with him.
Yeah.
And you
Absolutely.
just know, because we know each other enough that we know each other, that if he's not giving me, he's having a bad day,
Something's going
and
on.
I'm going to let him go for right now, and I'm going to call him later and be like, hey, are you all right?
What's going on?
What's up? And
hey,
then-
what can I help you
And
with?
every time that's happened, both sides of us, we've all been like, okay, hey, I appreciate you calling. You understood something was wrong.
Yeah.
And that goes to knowing your circle of friends. And that's
That too, yes.
and we're circling back like on a whole bunch of different other things, but when you know there's something wrong with your friend, ask. And we
Absolutely.
talk about the taking lives thing.
Yes.
You have to,
Unaliving yourself is what
Unaliving
they
yourself,
use.
yeah.
What they use on YouTube now.
but you need to know that there's always help. And that
Absolutely.
goes to charities, that goes to learning yourself, that goes to realizing that there's always help for you, and that we need to make sure people are good. Because if we take care of each other, everything else is easy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We need to, but that's another thing is understanding each other, because
Yeah.
that's the thing is, I know on the days when you're kind of, I'm like,
You
all
walk
right.
in and you're like, ooh, I'm not saying anything else to that dude.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
done
not.
for the night.
Yep. And then it's strictly business at that
Yeah.
point. It's
Hey,
just hey,
what's the
I
Passover?
need to know I need to know
Hey,
this information.
Here's the information.
I need to know this information.
Here's the information. I will be gone before you get out of your muster because I'm going home.
Yeah.
And that's like the, because normally I sit around, I try to sit around and we always chat for an extra half an hour a day. I don't have to necessarily be there. And we always chat and have a good time and talk to each other. But those days when I'm like, I'm out.
Yep.
And I don't say anything else, that I'm out.
Yeah.
And you know,
And I'll reach out.
I'll
to
call you later.
And sometimes too, I won't reach out to you right
because
immediately.
I'll reach out to you. Hey, sorry, I was short with you this
Oh no,
morning.
absolutely that too. But it's also like,
Well,
what? I'm gonna give him some time. He's gonna go home, get some sleep, and I'll talk to him.
And
later.
the good thing is, you and I know each other well enough that we're both self-aware that when we're being that guy,
Yeah.
we know to be like, hey, dude, sorry.
Yeah.
And it's
Absolutely.
usually me because I'm old and cranky.
I was gonna say it has been. Maybe
It's
the old
usually
thing.
me because I'm old and cranky, but
And lately, because you basically broke your back.
oh, dude, like you don't. Well, so like honestly, my back's so messed up that I can't sleep. So I'm averaging about 2.5 to 3 hours of sleep right now a day, and that's working nights, and it's so much. So, but I think that's all I got for the day. So
Yeah, I think honestly, we can end on that.
Yeah.
Again, remember
lack of sleep. Get sleep. Do the best you can do.
and do your research. Do your research when you do charity.
When you do
when you do
when you do charity.
you know when you do also because.
That's why I love you, buddy.
But yeah, do your research when you do charity work, when you do any of that kind of thing, because it's your conscience on
Yep.
the on the line.
Yep. So the last thing I'm going to say is, live good.
Ride hard.
We'll catch you next time.